back a little bit. We've got
Sure.
10 weeks of the season, the LL League done. You've got some awards to give out. It's online. You have your blog. They're up there to see. I want you to elaborate a little about these awards. Let's go into it. The end of the season awards. This is what you've done this more other years too.
Yeah.
Big surprise. What was your big surprise for the season?
Well, I did 5 categories in each section. In terms of Section 1, biggest surprise to me, and this is reflected in my preseason picks, was that Wilson won a 6th straight Section 1 title. Not so surprising that they did it. It's just this year the situation was a lot different for them. They had to replace 19 starters. You know, any other mortal team takes a step backward. Instead, Wilson goes 10-0. I think that's the 11th time in school history that they've done that. They went through their Section 1 schedule undefeated again, so that's 43 straight games they've won now in Section 1. And they look actually better this year, I think, in terms of like an all-around team than they were even last year. You know, last year they depended heavily on their defense and just kind of asked the offense not to screw it up for them too much. This year they're still good on defense, but now they're pretty strong on the offensive side of the ball too. So yeah, definitely for me, Wilson winning it the way they did, biggest surprise.
And you were just bitter because you picked Penn Manor to win.
Yes, and I'm bitter.
Let's get to it. Biggest disappointment in Section 1?
I hate to pick on anybody, but I got to go McCaskey going 0-10.
Yeah.
If you want to look at what happens to a team that has to replace a lot of talent, that's what was McCaskey faced this year. Their 2 best offensive players, 2 of their 3 best offensive players graduated. The third one was their starting quarterback last year, C.J. Gantz. He transferred out. They had a lot of people to replace up front on both sides of the ball too, and it's reflected in their record, 0-10. I expected them to struggle, but they're one of the biggest schools in the district. I didn't expect them to go 0-10, but they did.
Interesting. Most improved team in Section 1?
Most improved team, definitely Hempfield Black Knights. They went from a 3-7 team that was never really in it. You know, they had all the suspensions and everything.
Yeah.
This year they go 7-3. They played everybody in the section really tough. They won their last 4 games, and they're in districts for the first time since 2011. So good for them.
They're still playing, yeah. They had a lot of controversy at the beginning of that year last year. So that really screwed up the season.
Absolutely.
Who's your MVP?
MVP got to be Charlie Bell from Penn Manor. Is a starting running back, linebacker, does basically everything for them on offense. He was their leading rusher, their leading receiver. They line him up in the Wildcat and snap it to him. They throw it to him deep. He's the anchor of their defense, which finished, I believe, 4th in the entire league. And he's, you know, they probably would still have been a decent team without him, but there's no way, you know, they do as well as they've done and make the district playoffs without him there. He's definitely their MVP.
Yeah, he studied the ship for him, too. They had a bunch of injuries. Remember, they played Central in the preseason,
absolutely.
a bunch of injuries. Everybody thought, wow, how's the season going to go? Well, he just came out there, had a solid performance from the beginning and the get-go, and I think that's a smart choice. Who's your Coach of the Year, Keith? Coach of the Year is Doug Doms from Wilson. He would also be my award winner for the LL League's Best Beard. I love that. Beards are in. His beard has a Twitter account, so go figure. But yeah, like I said, 19 to 22 starters replaced. They still win the section, undefeated record. It's him hands down.